The Giant Who Looked for His Temper by Shantini Govindan. Long, long ago, in a faraway land, lived a giant. He was called Boomba. Like all giants, Boomba had a huge body. But because Boomba lost his temper very quickly and very often, he did not seem like a huge and strong giant, but a foolish one. Boomba would get angry if his alarm clock did not ring at the right time. He lost his temper if he wore his shirt inside out, or if his socks got mixed up. Sometimes he even lost his temper if he had nothing to do. When Boomba lost his temper, he looked very scary. His giant eyes would bulge out. His eyes would become a fiery red. He would clench his fists and kick and stamp and roll on the ground and roar and shout in a voice that was deep and fearful. Boomba lived in a cave that lay buried in a tall mountain, thick with dense forests. At the foot of the mountain was a village dotted with small farms. The villagers were very scared of Boomba. They knew his hot temper could burst out of him any minute. So they looked away as soon as they saw him. Or they ran home and locked their doors. Birds trembled in their nests when Boomba approached. Flowers shook on their frail stalks and folded their petals over their little heads. Even the happy, fluffy little clouds that floated over the mountain broke into 100 frightened bits when Boomba lost his temper. So, of course, Boomba did not have a single friend. No one talked to him, no one ever visited him, and no one ever invited him to parties or to tea. On his birthday, no one greeted Boomba with a card or a present or helped him cut his birthday cake. So, though Boomba the giant had a bad temper, he felt sad and lonely. He knew that if he did not do anything about his bad temper, he would have to spend the rest of his life feeling lonely. But what was Boomba to do? Boomba did not know. He thought he should go to the forest the next day and ask whoever he met first what he should do. Early the next morning, Boomba went to the forest. The first creature he met was a small, bright-eyed squirrel. She was looking for nuts. When she saw Boomba, she flicked her tail and tried to run away. But Boomba stood in her way and said, "Please, Mrs. Squirrel, don't go away. I do not want to harm you. I only wish to ask you something. Maybe you can help me?" The little squirrel looked up at Boomba, but she did not run away. How could a giant like him need my help? She wondered. "I have no friends at all, Mrs. Squirrel," Boomba said very sadly. "None at all. Everyone runs away from me and hides. It's all because of my temper. I lose it all the time." "When did you lose it last?" asked Mrs. Squirrel. Boomba looked very ashamed. "Half an hour ago," he said. "Just before I came to the forest." "Oh!" exclaimed Mrs. Squirrel. "I know how dreadful it is to lose something. I get so upset when I lose one of my nuts. I'm so glad that I do not have a temper to lose. But listen, if all your problems are because of this temper of yours, I think you should start looking for it at once. When you find it, store it in a safe place and make sure you don't lose it ever again. Boomba was puzzled. Look for my temper? How can I do that? I don't even know where to begin. Below the trees, on the forest floor, replied Mrs. Squirrel at once. That's where I usually find my lost nuts. But I don't understand, Boomba muttered. It was too late. Mrs. Squirrel was a busy squirrel and had no more time to waste or any more advice to give. Boomba watched her scurry away. Then, because he could not think of anything better to do, he decided to take Mrs. Squirrel's advice. I think I'll find my temper and store it in a safe place, said Boomba to himself. He dropped to his knees and began to crawl slowly along the forest floor looking for his temper. The forest was full of trees and plants, and there were leaves and twigs on the ground. Hundreds of insects and other tiny creatures scurried about. Boomba brushed them aside and kept searching. After many hours of looking in vain, Boomba was tired. He leaned against a tree trunk and asked himself, how am I going to find my temper? I don't even know what it looks like. Is it round or square? Soft or hard? Can it fly or run? Mrs. Squirrel had never owned a temper, so she could not really help Boomba. Who could tell him what his temper looked like? Boomba remembered the ferocious lion. Surely he'll be able to tell me what a temper looks like, thought Boomba. He set off for Mr. Lion's den. Mr. Lion was resting after a big meal, but Boomba could not wait. I have a big problem, Your Majesty. I do not have friends because I have a temper. Mrs. Squirrel advised me to look for it and store it in a safe place. But when I started looking for it, I realized that I did not know what it looked like. You are the great and wise king of the jungle. Can you tell me what my temper looks like? Mr. Lion thought for a moment and then asked, Do you lose your temper very often? Yes, exclaimed Boomba. It just bursts out of me. I cannot control it. Aha, said Mr. Lion. It's exactly as I thought. Your temper has very strong legs and can run very fast. If you want to find it, you will have to run very fast, pounce on your temper and capture it. Boomba acted on Mr. Lion's advice at once. He took a deep breath and broke into a run. The ground shook beneath his giant feet, and the frightened woodland creatures sped out of his way. Although Boomba was running fast, he kept looking for his temper too. But Boomba did not so much as catch a glimpse of it. Soon he was so tired that he could run no more. He fell to the ground, tired and disappointed. For he knew now that his temper did not have strong legs to run on. Inquisitive Mr. Fox, wandering nearby, caught sight of the tired giant and asked, What's wrong? Who were you running away from? I wasn't running away from anyone, Boomba replied at once. I was just looking for my temper. I lose it very often, and because of that, I have no friends." "Did you find it?" asked Mr. Fox. "No," sighed Boomba sadly. "Ah, I am not surprised," said Mr. Fox. "I could have told you that lost things never run away. They get buried deep in the ground. I know because I am an expert digger and have found many lost things. Your temper too must be buried somewhere. Let's not waste time. Let's start digging." Mr. Fox began digging furiously with his paws, and after watching him for a while, Boomba too began to dig. The mud flew in all directions. The hole grew bigger, and out came pebbles, rocks, bones, and sticks. "See!" exclaimed Mr. Fox excitedly. "I told you, many interesting things are hidden in the ground. We'll soon find your temper." Mr. Fox began to dig faster. Boomba copied him and dug even deeper. They kept digging furiously and stopped only when the sunlight began to fade. It was then that they realized that they were trapped deep in the hole they had been digging. "What shall we do now?" asked a frightened Boomba. He was a big, booming giant, but he was afraid of the dark. "Shout for help," said Mr. Fox, "so that our friends hear us and come to help us." "But I don't have a single friend," said Boomba. "Oh, yes, you told me," said Mr. Fox sadly. "You lose your temper so often that you have no friends left." "My dear Boomba, I became your friend and helped you. But if you don't shout for help now, you will lose my friendship too." "Are you really my friend, Mr. Fox?" asked Boomba, his eyes full of tears. "I will be, if you shout for help," smart Mr. Fox replied. "Help! Help!" Boomba began to shout at once. "Please save us!" Boomba's voice boomed across the valley. The villagers heard him as they were going to bed and thought that Boomba had lost his temper again. But as the cries of "Help! Help!" became louder and sadder, the villagers realized that maybe Boomba was in trouble. They ran to the forest with candles and torches to see what the matter was. And there, in the middle of the forest, in a deep, dark hole, the villagers found the huge giant Boomba, frightened and crying for help. "Please take us out," sobbed Boomba. "Please, please, I'm tired and hungry and full of mud. Help, please." "We'll be back soon, Boomba. We promise we will pull you out of the hole," said the villagers. They raced back to the village and gathered all the bed sheets they could find. Then they hurried back to the forest. All the sheets were tied together to make a long, strong rope. As soon as it was lowered into the hole, Boomba and Mr. Fox grasped the other end. The poor villagers heaved and sighed and pulled and tugged and strained. And at last, they pulled the big, heavy giant Boomba and Mr. Fox out of the hole. Mr. Fox turned to Boomba angrily and growled at him. "Boomba, you said you did not have a single friend because you always lost your temper? But the whole village has come to save you now. Where is your temper now? I don't think it exists. I haven't seen it anywhere." Mr. Fox was so angry that he just walked off without a backward glance. Boomba felt very foolish. He held out his hands to the villagers and said quietly, "You all know that I had a temper. You have all seen it. Only I still don't know what it looks like. I hope now it is really lost. But I promise that if I do find it, I will lock it up forever." So, the villagers were not scared of the huge giant's temper anymore. And Boomba found himself a village full of friends.